There are 12 ugly habits that slowly creep in as we age. Habits that quietly steal your energy, joy, and even your dignity as seniors. And the worst part? Nobody talks about them. But today we will. If you're a senior over 50 and want to stay vibrant, confident, and in control of your life, you need to hear this. Some of these may surprise you. Some may hit close to home. But each one holds the power to change everything. So hit that like button, subscribe to Better Life After Golden Jubilee, and let's expose the truth together. Hello and welcome to Better Life After Golden Jubilee, where we believe your second act can be your best one yet. Today, we're diving into something most people tiptoe around: the hidden habits that slowly rob us of vitality, connection, and joy as we age. These aren't just physical habits. They're mental, emotional, and social patterns that sneak in quietly and settle in deep. The kind that make you feel older than you are, and sometimes even invisible. But here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean fading away. In fact, it can be a powerful awakening. If you're willing to be honest, take a closer look and make small but meaningful shifts. That's exactly what we're doing in this video. No fluff, no judgment, just real talk about the 12 common, yet often ignored things that hold us back seniors. You might recognize a few of these in your own life, or see them in someone you love. And that awareness is the first step to real change. So stick with me, because we're not here to dwell on the negative. We're here to reclaim your spark, your confidence, and your best years. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to reveal one invisible habit that's proven to speed up aging even more than smoking. Most people have no idea they're doing it daily, and once you see it, you can finally break free and start reversing the damage. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Ugly thing number 1, giving up on appearance. One of the first signs that aging is taking a toll on us is when we start letting go of our appearance. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, why bother? I'm too old for this now. But here's the thing. When you stop taking care of yourself, even in small ways, it sends a powerful message to your brain. I don't matter anymore. This doesn't mean you need to go back to wearing what you did in your 30s or striving for perfection. It's about showing up for yourself every day, whether it's brushing your hair, putting on a little makeup, or even just choosing clothes that make you feel good. The simple act of getting dressed each morning can change how you feel and how the world sees you. I get it, life changes. You might not feel the need to dress up anymore, or maybe physical changes like weight gain or wrinkles make you feel like you're not the same. But self-care doesn't mean you need to look a certain way. It means valuing yourself enough to show up for you. And here's the good news. It's never too late. Small things like a good skincare routine, wearing colors that make you feel vibrant, or even just taking time to make yourself look presentable can shift your mood, increase confidence, and make others notice the best version of you. When you stop caring about your appearance, you start to feel invisible. But when you invest in yourself, you start feeling seen, respected, and valued again, by yourself and by others. That's a big part of living fully as seniors. Ugly thing number 2, becoming rigid in thinking. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "That's how I've always done it," and then shutting down any new ideas? These 6 words, as harmless as they may seem, can slowly shrink your world and trap you in the past. As we age, it's easy to get comfortable with routines and beliefs, thinking that change is for younger people or that it's simply too late to try something new. But here's the problem. When you become rigid in your thinking, you stop growing. And without growth, life begins to feel stagnant, even dull. Sticking to old habits, outdated views, and refusing to adapt can prevent you from experiencing the joy and opportunities that come with being open to new ideas. I know it can be intimidating. Change often means stepping out of your comfort zone. But when you open yourself up to new experiences, whether it's learning a new skill, exploring a new hobby, or even just changing your perspective on something, you're telling your brain that you're not done yet. You're not finished growing. For example, maybe you've always believed that technology is something you'll never understand. But the truth is, learning even just the basics, like using social media to stay connected with family, can bring you so much joy and keep you mentally sharp. Or perhaps you've always stuck to one exercise routine, thinking that's enough. What if trying yoga or swimming could bring more flexibility and relaxation to your life? The point is, when you open your mind, you open the door to new possibilities. Don't let rigid thinking keep you stuck in a box. Life after 50 can be just as adventurous, creative, and full of growth as any other time. So next time you find yourself thinking, "That's how I've always done it," ask yourself, is there a better way, a new way? Because growth never stops unless you choose to let it. Ugly thing, the tree, isolating from others. At first it feels like a small thing. Skipping a call from a friend, deciding to stay home instead of going to a gathering, or letting weeks pass without checking in with loved ones. But social withdrawal can sneak up on you, and before you know it, loneliness has taken root. And for seniors, loneliness is not just an emotional challenge, it can be incredibly dangerous. We all know the importance of human connection, but as we get older, it becomes all too easy to slip into isolation. Sometimes it's the physical challenges, mobility issues, hearing loss, or simply not feeling as energetic as you used to, that keep you from socializing. Other times, it's mental or emotional. You might not feel like you relate to others as much anymore. Or maybe you just don't want to burden your loved ones with your concerns. But here's the harsh reality. Isolation can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or not exercising. Research has shown that loneliness increases the risk of chronic conditions like heart disease, depression, and even dementia. It weakens the immune system and makes it harder to bounce back from illness. And the worst part? It often goes unnoticed, both by the person isolating and those around them. Now, I know it's not always easy to reach out, especially when you feel like you're bothering others or you don't have the energy. But the simple act of maintaining connections, whether it's a quick text, a phone call, or even a virtual chat, can be a lifeline. The truth is, we all need human interaction to thrive. And when you choose to stay connected, even in small ways, you're reinforcing your value to the world around you. It's easy to assume that you're burdening others, but most people genuinely want to hear from you. Even a small check-in can make a huge difference for both you and them. One of the best things I've learned over time is that you don't have to fill your calendar with huge events or parties to stay socially engaged. It can be as simple as sharing a cup of coffee with a friend, joining a book club, or even participating in online communities. When you make the choice to stay connected, it keeps your mind sharp, your heart full, and your life richer. And if you're thinking, "But I don't have anyone to reach out to," don't worry. There are countless ways to connect with others, whether through local community groups, online platforms, or even volunteering. You can start small. Reach out to a neighbor, join an interest group, or even try an activity you've never done before. Loneliness may feel like an inevitable part of aging, but it doesn't have to be. You're never too old to form new connections. Staying socially engaged is one of the most important things you can do for your health and happiness, now and in the future. So take the first step today. Reach out. Someone is waiting to hear from you, and that connection can make all the difference. Ugly thing that was for neglecting the body. As we age, our bodies start to send us signals, aches, stiffness, fatigue, and those little warning signs we often brush aside. It's just part of getting older, we tell ourselves. But ignoring these signs is one of the worst things we can do for our long-term health. Your body is speaking to you. Are you listening? Many of us fall into the trap of thinking that discomfort is just inevitable. Maybe you've noticed a bit of back pain, or your knees creak more than they used to. Perhaps your posture is slouching more, or you find yourself feeling winded after climbing a few stairs. These are all red flags that shouldn't be ignored. When we neglect our bodies, whether by not stretching, poor nutrition, or lack of exercise, we create a domino effect that speeds up the aging process. The thing is, it doesn't have to be this way. Small, consistent changes can make a massive difference in how you feel each day. You don't need to train for a marathon to stay healthy. It's about listening to your body and taking simple, proactive steps. Start by paying attention to your posture when you sit, stand, and walk. A little awareness goes a long way in preventing strain and injury. Nutrition is another huge piece of the puzzle. After 50, we need more of certain nutrients, like calcium for bone health and protein to maintain muscle mass. Skipping meals or relying on processed foods can lead to a cascade of health issues. It's never too late to make healthier choices. Even adding one extra vegetable to your plate or switching to a whole grain snack can bring positive change. Exercise doesn't have to be intense. Simple low-impact activities like walking, stretching, or yoga can work wonders. And the best part? You don't have to do it alone. Finding an exercise buddy or a local class can keep you motivated and engaged. Your body is the only one you have. It's not about chasing perfection, but about honoring and respecting it as it ages. Start with one small change today, whether it's correcting your posture, adding a walk to your day, or eating a more balanced meal. Your future self will thank you. Ugly thing number 5, talking only about the past. Let's be honest. Reminiscing about the good old days feels comforting. Our memories are a treasure trove of beautiful moments, accomplishments, and life lessons. But when those memories become the focal point of every conversation, it can signal something deeper, an unspoken belief that the best is behind you. Many of us, as we age, find ourselves returning to the past, reflecting on how life used to be, how vibrant we once were, or how different the world felt. And that's okay to do from time to time. It's natural to reflect and find comfort in the familiar. But when back then starts to dominate every conversation, it can limit how we experience the present and future. Here's the issue. Constantly talking about the past can unknowingly reinforce the idea that you've peaked. It sends a message to both you and those around you that the best years are over, and that there's nothing left to look forward to. When every conversation revolves around memories, it can make the present feel small and the future feel empty. But life after 50 doesn't have to be about looking back. It's about creating new memories, new experiences, and new connections. The future holds so much potential, and every day is an opportunity to make new stories worth telling. You don't have to give up talking about your past, but it's time to balance those stories with new conversations about your current life and future dreams. Share what excites you now. Talk about your hobbies, the things you're learning, and the adventures you're still dreaming of. Ask others about their experiences and let the conversation flow both ways. I know it can be hard to move away from the past, especially when it feels like the best chapters of your life were written a long time ago. But if you constantly look backward, you might miss the beauty unfolding in front of you. I've met so many people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s who are starting new businesses, learning new languages, taking up painting, and traveling to places they've always dreamed of. The truth is, the best chapters of your life are still ahead of you. They might look different, they might come with some challenges, but they are no less valuable. So instead of constantly reliving yesterday, ask yourself, what am I excited to explore today? What can I create, try, or discover now? When you shift your focus to the present and future, you begin to feel more alive. You start living with purpose and excitement, knowing that life doesn't stop just because a few decades have passed. The stories you tell today about your present life and your future hopes will be the ones that truly define who you are. So next time you catch yourself saying, "Well, back in my day," try turning it around. "Here's what I'm doing now." The future isn't behind you. It's waiting for you to step into it. Ugly thing number 6, complaining as a habit. Pain is real. Aging comes with its challenges, whether it's physical discomfort, illness, or the emotional toll of loss and change. But when complaining becomes a habit, it doesn't just weigh you down. It pushes people away and feeds feelings of loneliness and depression. We all know someone, maybe even ourselves, who starts every conversation with a complaint. "My back hurts again." "I can't keep up with the kids anymore." Or, "The world just isn't what it used to be." And while it's natural to express frustrations, when complaining becomes a daily routine, it starts to shape your perspective and your relationships. Here's the truth. Constant negativity makes it harder for others to be around you. Loved ones start to feel drained, and they may begin to avoid your company, not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to help. It's like you're stuck in a loop, and each time you complain, it gets harder to break free. But here's the good news. You can break that habit. Start by acknowledging your feelings and giving yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. But don't let those feelings control you. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, try shifting your mindset. Ask yourself, what can I be grateful for today? Or, what small victory can I celebrate, even if it's just getting out of bed this morning? One way to shift the focus is by creating a gratitude practice. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a hot cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or a moment of quiet. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to look for the good, and gradually, the habit of complaining fades away. It's also important to lean into positive outlets. Engage in activities that bring you joy, like walking in nature, reading, or doing something creative. When you focus on things that make you feel alive, the complaints naturally start to lessen. Remember, you have the power to change your energy. Complaining might feel like a way to seek attention or sympathy, but the real power lies in how you choose to respond to life's challenges. Instead of dwelling on the negative, embrace the things you can control and let them bring light back into your life. Ugly thing number 7, stopping learning. We've all heard the saying, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." But what if I told you that this belief could be one of the most damaging myths of aging? The truth is, the brain thrives on challenge. Whether it's learning new technology, mastering a language, or picking up a new hobby, the more we stimulate our minds, the younger and sharper we stay. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that learning is for younger people or that it's too late to start something new. Many people begin to feel like they've reached their peak and that the days of mastering new skills are behind them. But here's the problem. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, your mind and body begin to decline faster than you can imagine. Learning new things, especially as we age, is one of the most effective ways to keep your brain young, agile, and full of life. Studies have shown that continuous learning can help maintain cognitive function and even reduce the risk of dementia. But it's not just about protecting your mind, it's about enriching your life. Trying new things brings a sense of excitement, a feeling of accomplishment, and can open doors to entirely new worlds. Think about it. How long has it been since you tried something completely unfamiliar? Whether it's mastering a new app on your phone, learning how to cook a new recipe, or taking up painting or playing an instrument, these are all opportunities to stretch your mind in ways you might have forgotten were possible. I understand. Starting something new can feel daunting, especially if it's outside your comfort zone. Technology in particular can seem overwhelming, but it's one of the best ways to stay connected and keep your brain engaged. In fact, studies have shown that learning to use new technologies can improve your problem-solving skills, enhance memory, and even improve your mood. If you're unsure where to start, ask yourself, what have I always wanted to learn? Is there something you've been curious about but felt it was too late to try? It could be learning a new language. Apps like Duolingo make this so easy. Diving into digital photography, or even trying a new form of exercise like Tai Chi or Pilates. The key is to challenge yourself regularly. And here's the best part. It doesn't have to be a big commitment. Start small. Pick up a book you've been meaning to read, sign up for a workshop, or simply watch an online tutorial. The important thing is to engage with something that stimulates your curiosity and challenges you in a new way. Remember, growth isn't just about learning for the sake of knowledge. It's about reigniting the spark in your life. The joy of discovering something new, the pride of mastering a skill, and the excitement of seeing yourself progress are all deeply fulfilling. When you commit to learning, you're telling yourself and the world that you're not done yet. So don't let age be a reason to stop learning. Let it be the reason to embrace it even more. Your brain is a muscle. Feed it, challenge it, and watch it grow. Life after 50 is not about slowing down. It's about continuing to learn, explore, and thrive. Ugly thing number 8, fear of asking for help. As we age, there's often a sense of pride in being independent. We've spent our lives taking care of others, solving problems, and figuring things out on our own. But when that pride stops us from reaching out for help, it can lead to isolation and unnecessary struggles. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, there's strength in vulnerability. The misconception that asking for help is a sign of weakness can leave you feeling alone, even when you have the support of loved ones around you. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I should be able to do this myself, or I don't want to burden anyone. But this kind of thinking can prevent you from living your fullest, happiest life. Here's the thing, we all need help at times, whether it's physical assistance with tasks like cleaning or grocery shopping or emotional support when life feels overwhelming. Reaching out to others isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It takes courage to admit when you're struggling and to seek out help, and doing so opens the door to connection, support, and shared experiences. Asking for help doesn't mean you're no longer capable. It means you're prioritizing your well-being, which is something we all need to do as we age. Think about the people around you, your family, friends, even neighbors. They care about you and want to be there for you, but they can't help if they don't know you need it. If you're unsure where to start, begin small. Ask for assistance with a task that's been weighing on you, or simply share how you're feeling with someone you trust. Whether it's seeking advice, getting help with physical tasks, or just having a heartfelt conversation, these actions open the door to a deeper sense of connection. Don't let pride stand in the way of the support you deserve. We all need help sometimes, and asking for it can build stronger relationships and reduce feelings of isolation. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's a sign of strength and resilience. The more you allow yourself to be open to others, the more you create space for love, connection, and growth. Remember, you don't have to carry everything alone. There's strength in letting others in. Asking for help isn't just about getting the support you need. It's about embracing the idea that you are worthy of care and connection, no matter your age. Ugly thing number 9, holding grudges. We've all been hurt by someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, or even ourselves. But what happens when we hold on to that hurt? Bitterness isn't just an emotional burden. It manifests physically too. When you hold a grudge, it doesn't just affect your mind. It can raise stress levels, harm your heart health, and lower your immune system. The longer you hold on to that pain, the more it steals from your well-being. It's easy to think that holding a grudge is a way to protect yourself, to keep from being hurt again. But in reality, it only keeps you stuck in the past. Each time you think about the person who wronged you, each time you replay that hurt, you're reopening an old wound. And the person who hurt you, they likely have no idea that you're carrying that weight. In fact, they've probably moved on, leaving you holding onto a burden that doesn't belong to you anymore. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the wrong that was done to you. It means freeing yourself from the hold that pain has on you. Forgiveness is for your peace of mind. It's not about the person who hurt you. It's about setting yourself free. Here's the truth. Holding a grudge only keeps you in emotional bondage. It ties you to the past and drains your energy, leaving you with less room for joy, love, and the present moment. When you choose to forgive, you're not giving the other person a free pass. You're choosing your own health and happiness. You're choosing freedom from the chains of anger, bitterness, and resentment. Start small. You don't need to confront the person right away, but you can begin by letting go of the negative emotions you've been carrying. You might try writing a letter, even if you never send it, or simply telling yourself that you're ready to release the burden. Over time, this can help shift your mindset and bring emotional peace. Remember, forgiveness isn't a one-time event. It's a process. But with each step you take, you'll feel lighter, freer, and more open to experiencing the joy that life has to offer. Letting go of grudges gives you the space to heal and to embrace the beautiful opportunities still ahead of you. Bitterness may feel like a shield, but it only weighs you down. Forgiving isn't about the other person. It's about freeing yourself. Let go and make room for peace. Ugly thing 10. Resisting change. As we get older, we often become more set in our ways. We've had years to develop routines, habits, and beliefs that make us feel secure. But here's the truth. Change is inevitable, and resisting it only causes stress and missed opportunities. New technology, new ideas, new routines, they can all feel threatening. But what if I told you that flexibility equals freedom? Change often feels like a force working against us, especially when we're comfortable with the way things are. Technology moves at lightning speed, new trends emerge daily, and even simple routines we've followed for years start to shift. It can feel overwhelming, but the fear of change can become a trap. When we resist it, we miss out on opportunities to grow, connect, and experience new things that can enrich our lives. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I don't need to learn that, I'm fine without it," or "I'll just stick with what I know"? It's natural to want to stay in our comfort zones, but doing so can hold us back from new experiences that could make us feel more alive. Let's talk about technology, for example. Many seniors feel like they're too old to learn how to use smartphones, tablets, or social media. But embracing these tools opens up a whole world of connection, entertainment, and even convenience. You can stay in touch with loved ones across the globe, explore new hobbies, and even get health tips and support online. Technology isn't just for the young, it's for everyone, and it can greatly enhance your quality of life. But it's not just technology. Change could be a new hobby, a shift in your daily routine, or even exploring new ideas about wellness, like trying a different form of exercise or adopting a new eating habit. Change, when embraced, can reinvigorate your daily life, give you fresh perspectives, and even open new doors to things you've never considered before. The key is to start small. Pick one new thing to try, whether it's learning to use a new app, changing up your exercise routine, or simply reading an article or book on a new subject. Begin with curiosity, not fear. Every step forward, no matter how small, helps you build a more adaptable, open mindset. And the more you embrace change, the more flexible and resilient you'll become. Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning what works for you. It means being open to evolving with the times, finding new ways to enhance your life, and letting go of the fear of the unknown. When you allow yourself the freedom to change, you invite growth, joy, and possibility into your life. Remember, change is not the enemy. It's the key to freedom. Don't let fear stop you from experiencing the new things that life after 50 has to offer. Flexibility equals freedom, and the more you embrace change, the more you'll find yourself thriving. Ugly thing number 11, ignoring mental health. As we age, physical health often takes the spotlight. Doctor's appointments, medications, and exercise routines become a regular part of life. But what about our mental health? Anxiety, depression, and loneliness don't care how old you are. They can affect anyone at any stage of life, and they're often harder to talk about, especially for seniors. For many of us, mental health can be an uncomfortable topic. We've grown up in a time when emotional struggles weren't always acknowledged, let alone discussed openly. There's a common belief that older adults should just accept things as they are, and that mental health problems are just a normal part of aging. But here's the truth: it's never too late to take charge of your mental well-being. The first step is recognizing that mental health matters just as much as physical health. If you've been feeling sad, anxious, or overwhelmed, it's important to acknowledge it. You're not weak for feeling this way, and you don't have to suffer in silence. Just like with any physical ailment, your mental health deserves attention and care. The effects of untreated mental health issues can be devastating. Chronic anxiety or depression can drain your energy, worsen physical health problems, and make it harder to enjoy life. But by addressing mental health, you can unlock new levels of happiness, vitality, and connection. So where do you start? If you're feeling anxious or depressed, the first step is to reach out for help. Talk to your doctor or a mental health professional who specializes in senior care. Therapy, counseling, and even medication can make a world of difference. You don't have to go through this alone. But seeking professional help is just the beginning. There are also small changes you can make to improve your mental health daily. Start by incorporating relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or mindfulness. These practices can reduce stress and help you feel more present and calm. Another important step is staying socially connected. Isolation can be a huge factor in mental health struggles, but it doesn't have to be that way. Reach out to family, friends, or even community groups. Engaging in meaningful conversations, joining a hobby group, or simply having someone to talk to can make a massive difference in how you feel. Exercise also plays a huge role in mental health. Physical activity increases endorphins, the brain's natural mood lifters, and has been shown to reduce anxiety and depression. You don't have to start with intense workouts. A daily walk, some light stretching, or gentle yoga can go a long way in improving your mood and mental clarity. Lastly, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Aging can bring its own set of challenges, but it's important to remember that you're doing the best you can. Acknowledge your feelings and give yourself permission to seek help and feel better. Remember, your mental health isn't something to put on the back burner. It's just as important as your physical health, and it's never too late to improve it. If you've been struggling with your emotions, don't wait. Reach out and start taking care of your mental well-being today. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take care of your mind, just like you take care of your body. And most importantly, it's okay to feel better. Ugly thing. Dr. 12. Losing a sense of purpose. When retirement comes, many people think of it as the end of something, the end of work, the end of routine, the end of an active, busy life. But what if I told you that retirement isn't the end? It's the beginning of a whole new chapter, a new mission, a new purpose. As we age, the transition into retirement can be tricky. For decades, our lives were tied to our careers, our roles as parents, or our daily responsibilities. But when these things shift or come to an end, we can lose our sense of direction and, at times, our sense of self. Without a clear purpose, it's easy to fall into a routine of aimless days, filled with boredom, frustration, or even sadness. The truth is, having a purpose is vital for mental, emotional, and even physical health. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, experience fewer health problems, and feel more fulfilled in their later years. A purpose gives you direction. It keeps you moving forward, even when the days feel slower. If you're feeling lost or disconnected after retirement or after a major life change, you're not alone. It's normal to feel uncertain about what comes next, but the good news is that you have the power to create a new purpose. And it doesn't have to be monumental or life-changing. It just has to be something that excites you and makes you feel connected. Start by reflecting on what brings you joy or what has always been a passion. Is there something you've always wanted to learn but never had the time for? Maybe it's a hobby you've put aside or an old dream you never pursued. Your new purpose doesn't need to be grand. It can be as simple as learning a new skill, mentoring younger people, volunteering for a cause you care about, or even starting a small project that gives you a sense of accomplishment. You might also want to focus on creating connections, building new relationships, or investing in existing ones gives you both purpose and joy. Whether it's reaching out to old friends, joining a community group, or simply helping a neighbor, these connections can help reignite your sense of belonging and self-worth. If you're not sure where to start, try exploring new activities or stepping outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try something unfamiliar. The journey to finding purpose can be exciting, fulfilling, and even surprising. You'll discover new strengths and interests you didn't know you had. Ultimately, the key is to see retirement or any transition as a fresh beginning. Embrace it with curiosity and open-mindedness. Finding a new purpose is a personal journey, but one that will bring fulfillment, joy, and meaning into your life. Remember, your life is not over. It's evolving. The best years are often the ones where we learn to give ourselves permission to dream, explore, and create. Losing a sense of purpose can be a challenging chapter, but it can also be a catalyst for a new mission, one that brings you more happiness, health, and hope than you ever imagined. Look, I've been guilty of several of these myself. Aging isn't always easy, and it doesn't come with a manual. But I've realized that aging doesn't have to mean losing ourselves. It can be a time to rediscover who we are, to grow, and to live with more intention than ever. The truth is, aging can bring out the best or the worst in us, but the choice is always ours. And remember, change doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be intentional. We can choose to break free from the habits that hold us back and embrace the ones that propel us forward. We can choose to let go of the old and make room for the new. And each small step we take, whether it's forgiving, learning something new, or simply reaching out to a friend, helps us build a life that feels vibrant, meaningful, and full of possibility. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. So let's start today, together. Which of these 12 habits hit home for you? Be honest, I read every comment, and this is a judgment-free zone. Let's have an open conversation. Your experience might just be the encouragement someone else needs today. If this spoke to you, tap that like button and subscribe for more real talk, real wellness, and real joy every week right here on Better Life After Golden Jubilee. Let's keep growing together, one step at a time. This was an exciting one. Wait as I bring more tips on how you can enjoy your life as seniors. Thanks for watching today, and see you in the next video.